All right, Dan, we ask each guest the same par 5 questions. So Monty, do you want to intro the par 5?
I believe this is the par 5.
Very persuasive. And so excited to hear your answers to actually all of these questions, but your favorite golf course? I mean, so much exposure, so much, you've done so much. What would be your ideal golf course, or what is your ideal golf course?
What my favorite, always everybody ranks them, is probably Shinnecock Hills in Long Island. It's it's good enough to host a U.S. Open almost every day that you go out and play it. I haven't played as much as I've played other places, but like Oakmont, I've played a number of times. It's one of my favorites as well. But Shinnecock, just you stand there, you can see the whole golf course. You're looking at Peconic Bay and another golf course called National, and it just flows, and it's just a beautiful piece of land and a great championship test that has had U.S. Opens. So that's what I generally say is my first to wave around that, the greatest collection of 18 holes I've ever played are Pine Valleys. And I think the National in Toronto would be the favorite I've played in Canada.
Interesting.
I'm assuming you're playing from the championship tees, which do you remember your scores on those courses? Where you're talking about US Open courses? I mean,
yeah, well, what those tees that I played when, I haven't played those courses in a few years, now they have US Open tees, so you can't even play those ones anymore. Like Oakmont's changed so much from when it was a 7,000 yard course to 7,500 now. So I've never played those tees, but yeah, I've had some good rounds. I was in my prime, playing a lot 25 years ago. There's some good rounds. I wouldn't like them if I didn't shoot, decent. If I had 92, I wouldn't be saying Shinnecock.
Okay, question number 2, Dan. You can put together your ideal foursome with the caveat: no PGA or LPGA players, anyone alive or dead. Who's rounding out your foursome?
Oh, so I'll stay with celebrities versus close friends, but obviously I think I'd throw my son in there. He's 16 years old. He's
that's the best answer I think we've had so far. Yeah, that's nice. So.
Yeah,
it would behoove me not to say that. And yeah.
How's he play?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's named after my grandfather, so I probably put him in there. He brought me my first set of clubs, which he was a lefty. He played at Manderville, and is it Manderlin on the Bay, and outside in Ottawa. What's it called? Was it Manderley Golf Club?
Oh, Manderley. Yeah, I know that.
So that's where I first played. That's where he was a member. And then I'd throw. He's just become a really good friend. He's generous to a fault, and he was my idol. It would be probably Wayne Gretzky.
Wow.
It was cool. This is the kind of guy Wayne is. We played a father-son with it. He has a boy that's a good player. We played a father-son over Christmas this year at this course, which is called the Grove. If you've heard of it, it's Michael Jordan's new golf course he built down here in Florida. But we played his boy and Tristan and my boy, and playing the Grove. And then you go out there, and my son sees Justin Thomas over here, Ricky Fowler over here, Michael Jordan over there. And then Dustin Johnson came out and played 10 holes with us. So my kid was just shaking.
Oh my God.
Stuff, 50, he was 15 at the time. I said, that's a pretty cool day. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy down here sometimes.
First of all, you're the first person we've had who said their dream foursome and actually got to play with some of them or all of them. First of all, no, strangely, no one got to play with Mother Teresa.
I always say that I use it in a different way. Who could you have 6 beers with that you've never liked? So I would still haven't met Bruce Springsteen, even though I would love to have a 6-pack with him, or John F. Kennedy. Kind of cool, or so I always try to act like I'm some sort of a scholar, but when you say a president, that was sounding like he had a pretty good time while he was president.
Sure.
That's what I always say. So coming with golf, it's always going to be probably somebody that I've already played with, or I don't want to play with somebody I don't know if they're fun to play with, right? So you don't want to play with somebody you don't know they could be a jerk.
Question number 3: on a hot summer day, I don't know if you drink on the golf course or not, being an athlete, but
he just says he wants to play with someone he can have 6 beers with. I'm going to say probably a good chance he does drink something on the golf course.
What are you ordering from the bar card?
Eddie brought most of his family actually to that course.
Well, to be honest, I'll say this, how's this? I didn't when I was trying to play golf competitively, and I do now on occasion, but I didn't drink when I played. We didn't, and most times I was in groups that didn't drink when we played, but we drank more than 10 men after, get done and have a bunch of beers, and I'm not very good at. I'm a beer drinker for the most part, and maybe the odd drink mix, but I'm not very good at it. And I can drink wine, but I don't only drink wine when I eat. But it's cool. This just to give you guys, not again, I'm name dropping. I don't care what it is. The Grove, Michael Jordan's got his own tequila. It's like $74 a shot.
Jesus.
So Gretz gets doubles. But it's actually it's delicious, and I'm like they put it in this glass with a 1 cube that has X 23 in Roman numerals for Grove 23. It's cool. But it's delicious. But one of those, and I'm boy from Ottawa.
I heard Gretzky can really drink. I heard a great story about him one time from a buddy of ours who was working on a TV show, Tim Steves, and he was interviewing Darryl Johnson from the Cowboys, and they asked him like who was the biggest drinking athlete he ever saw, and he said that Gretzky, one time the Cowboys were wherever, or the Kings were playing somewhere, and the Cowboys came to watch the game, and they all went for drinks afterwards. He said offensive linemen were passing out, and Gretzky was still going strong after playing a game.
Well, I think most hockey players were some of the, as I look back on it, the best people, best guys I ever met, but they're also pretty good drinkers. But we had that metabolism and whatnot. So, but yeah, Gretz is good. Gretz likes to have a couple while he plays, so he's the opposite of me. But
Well, maybe it's being slashed during your sport. You're like, I don't like people hitting me with sticks, but I wouldn't mind a drink.
I think Gretz, he was never really in love with golf until he retired. So he plays it a ton now, and became just his new hobby. He has good games, and he plays pretty decent. He never liked to play in real tournaments and stuff like that because he didn't want to. He's so proud of everything he does portray for his brand and whatnot.
Right.
But once I think he stopped doing the coaching and that, he got into it. But it's a big part. He's brilliant, and he's had friends. My son, I mean, he just never stops talking. He doesn't go into some mode. He's just always on conversation, and generous and funny. And I mean, a good story that I introduced him to Ernie Els when they first came down in 2015. I said, let's get a game. Gretz had a couple, but Ernie's all wants to get, have a good game with me and play well. Gretz hits this good drive and a 9-iron onto the first hole at this Bears club right around the corner here. And Ernie goes, good shot, Wayne. Gretz goes, sometimes you got to live up to the nickname. Like that. It was just like, then as the day goes on, if he makes a putt, he goes, didn't you guys have TVs when you grew up? Like, you're pretty sure you're probably going to hear it once around if you play with him enough, so.
That's so great. I'm sure you've seen a lot on the golf course, but what's the angriest you've ever seen someone on the golf course?
I've seen a lot. So there's a couple guys I've seen, guys that just lose it and were no fun to be with. I think Tom Barrasso was one of those guys. He loved the game, but he could break 6 clubs in a round. And if you went to retrieve one, he would say, I'll kill you if you retrieve that. I'm like, I'm going to go grab that beautiful driver head you just broke. But obviously when you do it for, you do it on a golf course, you do it inside the ropes, Ernie Els had a temper on him. When I saw him about tomahawk, oh my God, I call him the big uneasy. But when he snapped, and he could talk like a silent assassin, he wouldn't move his lips. He could give you grief and talk about fans, and just like this, like he's smiling, and he's just chewing. But I've seen him tomahawk a club or two that I just, like you get away because you're the caddy. If it springs up, it could take your head off.
Right.
Let's say he's got one of the worst.
Big gun easy.
Is this during a competitive round or
yeah.
just
yeah
really?
I remember he got a plug lie in a course called Ridgewood one time in the bunker, and he chucked that sandwich so hard. He wouldn't carry on, but he would have a quick surge of anger that was pretty high level.
Damn.
A big man too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, question number 5, Dan. Last question. Your favorite golf moment? I mean, you've mentioned so many of them, whether it was Nicklaus in '86 or Tiger in '97. So it could be something either you saw, something you witnessed in person, or something you experienced on the course. What's your favorite golf moment?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. Obviously, kind of cross all boundaries. If you say, I remember in 1981, that Ontario Amateur was pretty cool. My favorite golf tournament that I've ever watched was 86 Masters.
Yeah.
Now there's been others that rival it, but I mean, I think it was still the coolest, goosebumpy kind of, thing that you could ever watch. And if you look back on it, how many great players were in contention. And you guys, hopefully you're not too young that you haven't watched that 86 Masters on Sunday, that back nine. But I think the coolest thing probably from, even though it's called celebrity golf and whatnot, it was pretty decent golf. A couple of guys like Rick Rhoden played on the Champions Tour, and that he won that tournament 8 times and to my 5. But I won it in 92 and 2012, so over 20 years. That was kind of cool. And as a current athlete, I shot 3 under par. I was in the NHL and I shot 3 under for 4 days. So my winning score was 213, I believe. So that was kind of cool. And then, I think that unquestionably what's gone on in the last couple of years, being around here through, his ups and downs, for Tiger to win the Masters after, the incident down here, and then to making the cut this year, when I've seen his leg, he lives right around here. And there's a picture posted the other day of his son plays in the same tournament my son played in 2 weeks ago. And he didn't have a sleeve on, and that leg is like it's just a zigzag. And so he made the cut in the Masters and the PGA this year. So it's a pretty, and I can't say, I mean, I've always watched Tiger play, but I can't say that I was always a big fan, but I was memorizing, because he was so good back in those days. But to see him win the Masters, was it 2019 or 2018? Or I think Dustin won in 2020. Yeah, so 2019.
2019, yeah.
Yeah, so those are probably cool. And then obviously Mike Weir in 2003 winning the Masters was as cool as it was for a Canadian.
Yeah.
Is that too many for what? Simple
No,
Not at all. Not at all. You can keep going if you want.
You get more than regular.
Yeah.
Have a few.
Free on the left side of the fairway, and something distracted him.